What's going on, guys? Glassjaw Podcast here. I'm your host, Anthony. Thanks for tuning in. All 8 or 10 of you who watch my podcast, or at least click on it, I appreciate it. I haven't been able to really do one in a long time. I've been in the process of moving, and now I'm finally all moved in, and it's been kind of tough not doing these. I've been doing my social media, my Instagram. You guys follow me at Glassjaw Podcast. But I just love talking about MMA. I love, giving my opinion and, talking shit and all that good stuff. But I'm happy to be back. And what a great week to come back. I mean, we just had UFC 269 on Saturday. I'm sure anybody that likes MMA, I mean, you were glued to the TV just like I was. I actually got to watch the fights, which is nice. I haven't been able to do that in a long time. Life's busy. I'm sure most of you can relate. So let's jump into it. I mean, I'm not going to, ramble on too much. I want to get into the prelims. We'll talk about a few of them. To be honest, I jumped in watching the fights at the end of the Tuivasa fight. I know he knocked him out second round, really quick in the second round. Tuivasa's a beast. I'm surprised this motherfucker hasn't got sick by so many shoes that he drinks out of, but he is one tough fucking guy. He's got 2 knockouts in his last 2 fights. The other one against Hardy. And I mean, he's running for it. Heavyweights. I mean, he's a different style fighter. He's a scrapper. He's going to keep going. He's going to swing until he gets knocked out or knocks you out. I feel like to get up there in that title contention, he's got the puncher's chance, just like most heavyweights do. But the technique, when you start getting into those bigger the lower numbers and rankings, they start to play a factor. So I mean, not that he doesn't have much of a ground game or wrestling. We just haven't seen much of it because he usually goes in there and knocks people out. But I would, he's gonna get good fights. He keeps winning like this, so I'm excited to see what's next for him and what the future holds in the heavyweight division. I know we got the big fight with Ngannou and coming up, and I personally think he's going to lose that title fight. But we'll see. The co-main on the prelims: Dominick Cruz, Pedro Munoz. Crazy fucking fight. Dominick Cruz, he's going in there. He's making a run for the title again. On my social media, I think it's Loaded Gloves. Shout out to him. I don't know, what Dominick Cruz has left in his tank. Loaded Gloves beg to differ. And it showed on Saturday. This guy, he went in there. He got clipped twice in the first round. I mean, it was a 10-8 round, no doubt. And then, second, third round, he came out and he was dominant. I mean, he did what he did, and he got the win. He won all 3. Munoz, I just feel like Munoz having trouble figuring him out. Dominick Cruz is a tough guy to figure out. He moves a lot. He's very active. He has weird throwing. He's from hooks and haymakers, and they're coming from all ends. And but it did good. Munoz couldn't figure it out, and Dominick Cruz got the win. He got it. It was pretty good. I mean, those 2 rounds were pretty dominant. They're pretty one-sided. Pedro Munoz, he's a good contender for Dominick Cruz. Dominick Cruz winning, it definitely throws him in the pool in that bantamweight division. Now, that bantamweight division is super heavy. Got a lot of bangers in there. And, I just, his next fight up, I've been seeing Chito Vera, his name thrown in there. I've had my doubts about Chito Vera, and anybody that knows Glassjaw or knows, any of my commentary. I'm not sold on the cat yet. But Dominick Cruz would be a really, really good competition for him, and I definitely think that it would put him in a different category if he were to get through Cruz, especially in some kind of dominant fashion. But we'll see. I mean, Dominick Cruz, he's a good fighter. He's very, he's experienced. The guy knows his shit. He's very smart. He's like a Peyton Manning type guy. He knows the game inside and out, and then he actually plays the game. So good for him. Congrats to him. He needed that win 100%. He got it. And, Pedro Munoz, we'll see what happens with him. You kind of get swept under. He's got some big names under him, Cody Garbrandt, and he's, got in there with a few guys, but we'll see. The main event on there, Josh Emmett, Dan Ige. I didn't get to see too much of this one. I don't know what I was doing. I was back and forth driving, and I didn't really get to. I was trying to watch it on my phone, which I don't recommend you do when you're driving. And, but Josh Emmett got the win, the decision. I know it was controversial. I seen a lot of people on social media saying that, they think he got the win, Dan Ige. But I'm going to watch it back because I did. I mean, I know that they were going at it and they were throwing down. And I know it was a good fight, so it was close. Probably could have won either way. But I'm definitely going to go back and check it out. So the main card, holy shit. So we started out on the main card, the bantamweight, which is another one that, Sean O'Malley, he's one that I've had my, reserves on. And I think that, every time I kind of just wasn't sure about him, he comes out, he gets a good win. The guys that he's winning against aren't the best guys. Either they're up and coming. I know the last guy he fought, I don't really know his name, but, he was taking everything that O'Malley had, and O'Malley still couldn't get him out. But he did win dominantly, of course, but still couldn't get the finish. This fight he did. He knocked out Pavea, who's no joke either. He knocked him out in the first round, and it was good. I mean, the good thing about O'Malley, he's super technical. He understands the game, and he's ready. I mean, the guy's ready. So we're gonna see him go in there, and we're gonna see him fight some of these bigger names 100% now. Getting through Pavea just the way he did. There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to start throwing big names at him. And good. I mean, good. I know that him and Dominic Cruz, or he's had a lot to say about Dominic Cruz. I don't know if that's a good fight for Dominic Cruz. But again, if you're going for a title run, it really doesn't matter. You just got to go through the toughest guys. And, you got to do what you got to do to get that win. O'Malley, 15-1, big win for him. I really think this puts him up there now. Like, I don't know about the title contention, but he's definitely going to get up into that top 5. He's going to start fighting some of these guys, that he needs to fight to get that title, because we've seen enough of him that we know that he's the real deal. At least he knows, and he has what it takes to get to that title fight. So it's time. I mean, it really is. I've seen enough of him myself that I think that he's ready. I mean, he's ready to start fighting these big names, Sans Hagens, Fonts, the Aldos, those kind of guys. I mean, he's ready. So hats off to him. Hats off to both of them. Anybody that jumps in that cage, they're warriors. The flyweight, Kara France, Cody Garbrandt, son of a bitch, dude. So it's one of those. It was a weird. Cody Garbrandt going down to 125. I mean, I get it. 135, he was getting his ass kicked. He had a few good fights in there, but it just wasn't working out for him. Unfortunately, 125 didn't work out either. I had a feeling that, first of all, I don't think Cody Garbrandt is as good as he thinks he is. Cody Garbrandt, he's a banger. He's an aggressive guy. He's definitely an emotional guy. He doesn't have a chin. In this business, you have to have a chin in some way, shape, or form. You have to be able to take shots. If you get hit clean, sorry about that. My battery is dying, and I'm going to plug in my laptop. If you can take a punch and you get a clean hit on you and you go down, that's part of the game. I get that. But this guy, he only loses by knockout. I mean, this guy has taken shots. And, I mean, he's gotten through Dominic Cruz. He's gotten through some of these guys, yes, because he's aggressive, because he's kind of bully. That's the way he fights. But, and it works. It works. I mean, it works. But it doesn't work long term. You're going to get a couple fights in there because you got the fighter's chance. You got the puncher's chance. I get that. But as soon as he gets touched, it's over. And he doesn't recover well. This fight, it was, borderline embarrassing. And you kind of felt bad for the guy, at the same time. Because Carl France, I'm a fan of. I had a good feeling that he was going to take this fight. I had him winning this fight. in the fashion that he did. I wasn't sure. I was hoping he was going to get in a firefight with this guy because that's how he gets the chance to win, Cody Garbrandt, but he didn't. And he took a few shots and he ate them. You know, Cody's got a good punch. He's a big puncher. But I just think that maybe MMA and fighting isn't for you. I mean, if you can't take a punch, I don't know what's going to happen with him. Moving forward, I don't see him getting anything big anymore. That name Cody Garbrandt is going to kind of go out the window. We're not going to be excited to see him fight. I haven't really been excited to see him fight for a while. Ever since the whole TJ Dillashaw thing, you know what I mean? You just see that that's what happens. If he gets touched, he's probably going to lose and he's probably not going to recover. But hats off to him, dude. Like I said, anybody that jumps in that cage is a fucking warrior. I take nothing, away from this guy. I just don't think that this is where it is. And I don't think it gets any easier. Go to Bellator, go to PFL, go to some of these other organizations. It doesn't matter. These guys are fucking tough. Like these fighters, just because they're not in the UFC, they're still really, really, really tough fighters. And some of the best in the world. I mean, I know UFC is the biggest platform, at this point. But it doesn't take anything away from these other organizations. These guys are fucking athletes. They're top notch. And you go somewhere else, you're going to have the same outcome. And you can't really train for a fucking jaw. Like you can't train for a jaw. You can't do anything about that. You just don't have a chin. And it's showed in a lot of his fights. And it's unfortunate because he's tried. I mean, 135, 125, he's trying to find where he belongs. And unfortunately, he belongs nowhere. In this, as of this point, I don't know, but hats off to both of them on Carl France. I'm excited to see what's next for him. That flyweight division, it's got some names in there, and I like to see what happens. He's good. I mean, he looked really good. Didn't really take much time in there. You didn't get to see really too much of him, but his shots were crisp, clean, powerful. He looked fast. The whole nine. So good for Carl France. The middleweight. Jeff Neal, Santiago Nobio, excuse me. Good fight, back and forth. Nothing too crazy. Went all 3 rounds. Jeff Neal got the decision. He looked a little bit better. Got some better shots in on there. I felt like Santiago, he was kind of gassing in that last round. But he's a tough guy. I don't know. He has a weird fighting style. He's been in there, a lot. 29-5. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. But Jeff Neal, he's just kind of one of those guys. He's just a tough dude, and he got the win. We'll see what's next for him. I know he had some legal trouble coming into this, DWI, and I think driving with some type of loaded weapon or something like that. So hopefully he gets his shit together, and we can see more of him. I mean, he looked good, but he didn't look like, hey, watch out for Jeff Neal good. And, again, I say it over and over. I mean, if you're doing this to be the best. I feel like that's just life. If you're not doing it to be the best, then you shouldn't be doing it. Whatever it is. It can be the smallest thing. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do something, make sure you do it and you try to be the best at it. Don't sell yourself short. Don't waste your time, because that's basically what it comes down to, is wasting your time. Time's valuable. You can't get it back no matter how much money you make, no matter, any type of anything. You're not going to get time back, so don't waste it. Do it 110%, and if it's not for you, then go to something else, or don't waste your time trying. The co-main event. So this was a crazy fight. Amanda Nunes, right? She's been through the who's who. She's fucking, she's beat them all. She's beat all the greats. I wasn't sold on this. Hats off to Juliana Pena. I'm not taking nothing away from her. This girl's a grinder. She's a scrapper. She looked good. They went in there. They just threw hands. That's what they did. They punched. And basically Nunes just gave up. I'm not going to say she tapped out to a choke, because that's bullshit. That choke was like over her fucking nose or like over her mustache. It wasn't even anywhere in there where it looked like it was dangerous. I was listening to Chael Sonnen today, and he said the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's stupid that, I get it. Whatever the situation is, emotionally, physically, whatever, she went in there, she fought, she scrapped. If you look at Juliana Pena's face, it was fucked up too. And Nunes wasn't really, and I like how Chael Sonnen said it. He said that She lost this fight emotionally and mentally, not physically. It wasn't a physical loss. It was a mental loss. Something wasn't there. Maybe she was tired of it. Maybe she's over it, you know, holding the belts and all the pressure and blah, blah, blah. She's a new mom. Good for her. But it wasn't the Nunes that we know. It wasn't the Nunes that we expected to see. And it's kind of fucked up, to be honest. I mean, don't go in there if you're not ready to go in there. Like, she even said, you know, you wanted it so bad, and now you got it. What kind of fucking response is that? Excuse me. Doesn't make any sense to me. Like, that just it sounds like I let you win. That's what it sounds like to me when you say that. And then for me as a fan, or anybody that's betting on it, or anybody that's involved in it, and then for you to go out and just kind of say, hey, fuck it, I don't want to win, I don't want to try, I don't care type thing, because that's the kind of, you know, body language I got. You know, she went in there, she punched, she got caught. The jab for Juliana Pena was what was dominating that fight. She couldn't get past that jab, but she didn't try to get past that jab. She didn't try to go for no takedown. She didn't try to avoid the damage. She just stayed in there. She threw punches. She was hoping that she would catch Juliana, and that would be that, but then it didn't happen. So she kind of just went to her back, you know, had that little bullshit across her face, and then tapped out. I mean, she didn't try to fight the hands. She didn't try nothing. She just fucking tapped out. So it's a little frustrating. I'm sure you can tell, but I wasn't happy about it. I think that let's get Juliana Pena against a Shevchenko who would never in 1,000 fucking years lay down for somebody. Whether she didn't, I mean, you know, you're not feeling it that night, something's going on, blah, 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 blah. I don't fucking know. All I know is that you showed up to fight, so you should have fought, and you didn't fight. But Shevchenko would never do that. Shevchenko needs to take a shot at this fight, beat the shit out of Pena. And again, I don't want to take much away from Pena. I don't think she beat the Nunes that we're used to seeing or that she's used to being. But, you know, she looked good. She did what she had to do. But, let's see her fight somebody that wants to fight or that was in there to fight. You know, not in there to just kind of, hey, this is what you guys wanted from me. You want to be in here. You paid me to be here. So this is what I'm going to do. Anyway, so let's see that happen because I want to see that happen. Main event, light heavyweight, Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier. I feel bad for the guy. I mean, first of all, Dustin Poirier, you know, big puncher, dude. This guy's a beast. He's gone in there. He's done what he had to do to get to the top. But the style matchup for these guys, Charles Oliveira is just so well-rounded. This guy, not only can he box, you know, he can kickbox. He can grapple, jiu-jitsu, the whole nine. And then you get somebody like Dustin Poirier that's just basically a puncher. He's just a boxer. And he's going to try to wear you down. And he's going to try to knock you out. And that's okay. That works for other people that want to do that want to fight you like that. But then somebody like a Charles Oliveira that's not winning the stand-up, he's going to realize that and recognize that. And he's going to change the game plan. Or he's going to use his other weapons. Some of these guys are just going to bang you out with, you know, Poirier just going to bang it out. And then they're going to lose because they get knocked out or, you know, whatever. It's not going to work against a guy like Charles Oliveira. He's not going to keep fighting you if he's not winning that stand-up game. He's going to take you to the floor. He's going to take your back. He's going to do what he can to take away your hands. And then he's going to win the fight because you're not well-rounded enough to defend any of that. So basically, that's what we've seen. I mean, we've seen Poirier get some good shots in the first, had him fucked up, and he went back to the corner and he thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep doing this and I'm going to win. And he came out and Charles Oliveira said, no, I'm not. I'm not going to keep getting punched and fucked up. I'm going to take you to the floor. Kept him on his back. And then Dustin Poirier in his post-fight interview even said, I didn't even want to do anything on my back. I would rather have stayed on my back than tried to get up and get caught or you know, tapped out or whatever, or advanced to a, you know, full mount or whatever. So that's how dangerous. I mean, that's the mindset of a Poirier, is that I'm not even gonna fucking move because I don't want to get caught in something. I mean, it's MMA, it's mixed martial arts. You're never gonna be a champion, or if you are, you're not gonna last if you go. You know, if that's your mindset or if that's your skill set. If that's all you know you're going to be able to do is just punch, and if you can't do that, then you're going to lose the fight. That's fucked up too. I mean, if you're gonna reign being well-rounded. You know, some of these guys, you know, they're one-dimensional. Boxing is it's a good thing to have in your arsenal, but when you're going to get with somebody like that, I mean, he just kind of does what he wants to you. That's what he's doing. He's doing what he wants. So he wasn't getting, you know, the stand-up wasn't working. Even though he was taking the shots, and he took the shots, dropped them a couple times, okay, recovered well. He's still dangerous on his feet, Oliveira, but he took him down. He won the second round. Then he came out and he took the back. No fucking problem. I mean, he fought the hands once or twice under the neck. It was a no-brainer. So hats off to Oliveira. You know, Dustin Poirier, go up and wait. I mean, it's time to go up. I think it's time to fight like the Kobe Covingtons. You know what I mean? And the Jorge Masvidals. Excuse me. You know, it's time to fight those guys. Those are good matchups for him because even though, you know, those are boxers, those are fighters, they're scrappers. That's what they're gonna do. They're not gonna result to a takedown. If they have to, yeah, they can. The Gaethje Oliveira fight, another one. Gaethje's a boxer. He's a scrapper. He might be like a D1 wrestler, and he did all that good stuff, and he's got that ability. But he still goes towards the fighting, the scrapping, the boxing, right? And that's not going to work against an Oliveira. Even it's not a good fight unless he figures, you know, a way to take that away from Oliveira, or he gets Oliveira out early by punches, which we just seen. I mean, if you can take a Poirier shot, and you can take a Michael Chandler shot, and you can still come back, and you can fucking win the fight. You know, so the punches aren't going to do, you know, unless you really catch him clean and, you know, you knock him out. But the guy's got good recovery. He's got a good chin on him, and he's very, very well rounded. I think he's going to stay in that light heavyweight champion spot for a pretty long time. I mean, I don't know if Gaethje's got what it takes. He's all heart. He's a scrapper. You know, Dustin Poirier beat him. Dustin Poirier, you know, because they just fought their ass off. That's why Michael Chandler, that was such a good fight. Michael Chandler, Gaethje, they just boxed to the end. I mean, fuck, I want to see that too. Don't get me wrong. It's a great fight, you know, for the fans, the visual. But when you're trying to be a champion, you know, you can't be so one-sided because the champion's not. The champion's got all the fucking tools, you know. So that's why he's going to be a dangerous champion. And it's going to take somebody that's got that type of skill set to compete with it because he's going to need to be able to, defend the choke. He's going to need to be able to get out from under him if he's on his back. Throw up, you know, submission attempts. I mean, you're going to need to show this guy, look, I can fuck with you here too. And I can scrap with you. And I can, you know, block the takedown. Attempt submissions. All those things that are going to tell Oliveira, okay, I can't do what I was doing to everybody else. Now I have to, you know, and that's a good fight too. I mean, if the guys are on the ground, you know, going over submissions, rolling around, fucking, changing positions and all those things, that's a good fight too. I mean, getting up, scrapping a little, you know, competing in the wrestling, takedowns, you know, takedown defenses, that's a good fight too. So, not saying that, you know, there's nobody out there that can do that. But Oliveira, you know, that guy's definitely a handful, and, we'll see what happens. We really will. See how long it's been since I've had a fucking podcast? I'm full of energy. I'm like, fuck, dude. I mean, I love the fight game, and I love, you know, the competitiveness about it. And I love, you know, just the sport in general. And, I guess, you know, I'm just passionate about stuff like that. But, you know, we're going to see. Like, I'm looking at social media. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm already at 25 minutes. But, so Kobe Covington saying, you know, he's cutting all that weight and all that. He's already calling him out. I mean, I want to see it. Kobe Covington, 170. Like, let's do it, dude. That's a great fucking fight. It's a great fight for both of them. Kobe Covington's one of those guys. He's super well-rounded. You know what I mean? Like, his jiu-jitsu game, but he's a fucking really good wrestler. And I think that's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, he can take you down. He can keep you down, ground and pound you. Poirier really, really, really has to work on that ground game if he wants to compete at that high level against some of these guys that aren't just strictly boxers or aren't going to get in that firefight with you, because that's what's going to happen. Daniel Cormier, that stupid fucking thing with Dominic Cruz and Daniel Cormier. I don't know who the fuck Dominic Cruz thinks he is, talking that shit about Daniel Cormier. Like, and then now, the guy doesn't have to defend himself. He's like, I'm not even a commentator. People mistake me as a commentator. I'm not a commentator. I mean, it's a job. You know what I mean? Like, Dominic Cruz, yeah, I don't know where he comes out, like he can fucking talk shit about somebody and the way that they do what they do. I mean, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I mean, DC's, he has nothing to prove. He's fucking having fun. I'd love to be cage side and do that kind of stuff. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I mean, you want to sit there and eat popcorn and watch the fucking fights while you commentate, so what? That's what it is. Pena, Chelsea, yeah, I seen that. Michael Chiesa, he jumped over and he was faded and he fell and I think he fucked up his arm or some shit when Pena won. He got all excited and the police had to take him out. So yeah, I mean, look at they're talking about the Sugar Show. I mean, I'm ready to see him fight some big fights. I wouldn't see him fight Cheeto again. He got hurt that fight, and I don't know. Again, I mean, let's throw Cheeto in there. Charles Oliveira and Khabib, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Khabib will come back, but whatever. That'd be dangerous for Khabib, to be honest. I mean, Khabib's not immortal. I mean, that motherfucker, yeah, he fights 29-0. I mean, damn, he hasn't really, he's not anything crazy. Let's see, Amanda Nunes. You guys think I'm going to go out unbalanced? I undoubtedly accept the rematch. Give me a little time to get my shit together, and I will be back better than ever. Yeah, you fucking better be, dude. I mean, I knew it wasn't. She's a lot of pressure, I'm sure, to be the champ, and then 2-division champ, and then everybody always calling you out and like, where the fuck are you? And she's trying to do her thing and be a mom, and I get it. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm just, I'm big on doing what you're doing. Do it 120%. I mean, I'm not like, if I'm gonna do something personally, I live by that creed. I mean, I live by that sword. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do a full blast. I mean, if I can't or I don't, or I don't want to do it, or I'm not giving it that all, then I won't. I'll stop doing it. Like, I just won't do it anymore because something's not there anymore, and that's fine. It's okay to figure that out as well. But don't attempt something, 50% or 80% because it's not worth it, first of all. I mean, you're going in the cage, you can get really hurt that way. And then second of all, it's not fair to us. It's not fair to the people who are paying that big-ass fucking money. I heard some guy lost like $350,000 betting on her. Because that's what the odds said. Fucking plus 900 or minus 900? Come on, dude. I mean, the odds say you're going to fucking beat her because of everything that you've done and everything she's done. You're a minus 900. I mean, come on, dude. That's a little fucked up. Anyways, all right. So, yeah, I mean, that was Saturday. Super pumped. I was excited about that. I know we got some fights coming up. Is it this week? Yeah, Derek Lewis, Duakas, Stephen Thompson. That Bilal Muhammad, I mean, that's a crazy fight. That's a good fight. I'm excited about that one. Thompson and Muhammad, that's the co-main. That's on Saturday. That's a good one. I'm excited about that one. I didn't know that was coming up. I knew it was coming up. I didn't know it was coming up Saturday. Lomas, Angela Hill. Damn, 13-10 Angela Hill, man. I mean, I'm from San Diego. I'm sure I've said it before. And, I see her around sometimes, some of these spots I go to. And, I don't know. She's 13-10. That's fucking horrible. But she keeps getting those fights. I mean, she hasn't really looked that great. I mean, she's going on Amanda Lumo's 10-1. It's going to be a tough fight for her. So we'll see. Rafael Sunsao, Ricky Simon. So that'll be a good one. Sunsao is always dangerous. And there's some good-ass fucking fights on here. I didn't really realize all these guys were going down. Cub Swanson, Darren Elkins. Fuck, dude. Darren Elkins, I mean, that's a good fight. These motherfuckers, it's going to be a bloody scrap, that one. That's a really good one. I'm excited about that one, too. Carlos, Diego Ferreira. That's a good one, too. It's going to be a good scrap. Damn, for free. Thank you, Dana. All right, well, that wraps it up. Fucking 30 minutes? Damn, dude. See, I can just keep rambling and talking shit. Well, thanks for everybody who tuned in. I appreciate it. I'm going to start doing these a little bit more now that I'm back and I'm settled in. I'm excited. I'm pumped. If I don't get back on here, before, I might. But happy Merry Christmas to everybody. And, I hope everybody had a great December. Great Thanksgiving, all those cool things. Hope everybody's staying safe. And thanks for everybody for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. Glass Jaw Podcast. And I'm out.